Well, this should bring back memories for some people. It's the reason I got Camtasia in the first place. That's right, it's Brigandine again. With an intro like that, you wouldn't believe how hard to play this game is like this. Because as I've mentioned when I brought it up in the normal game I played, they never translated Grand Edition. I don't know what any of this means. I can read this. But as you can see, we've got a standard selection with a difference. We could input a code to play as the Asgary's Empire, which was kind of neat. But in this, the Asgary's Empire actually has its own cutscenes and is playable from the get-go. As for what we're playing as, we're going for Carolot. Mostly because it's easiest to show off the changes in this version without actually being able to read Japanese. I still don't know if there's supposed to be anything here. I honestly forget. We're just gonna let it go. I don't want to mess up any of the video stuff. As for why I'm doing this, we'll get to that in a minute.
たとえ戦乱の世となり、この大陸すべてを焼き尽くすことになろうとも、俺は鬼となって戦い続けよう。そして必ずや覇王とならん。
I don't think that actually goes anywhere if you're not playing as New Almechia. Meanwhile, in Carolot...
お兄ちゃんお兄ちゃんってば起きなさーい
The greatest sorcerer in the kingdom, everyone.
どうしたって言うんだい、メリオット。こんな朝早くから。
お兄ちゃんお母様が生きてた時よく言ってたわ。 王様は人の模範にならなくちゃいけないって。このお城でまだ起きてないのはお兄ちゃんだけよ。王様。
なりたくてなったわけじゃないさ。
もうまたそんなこと言って。そうだわ、それどころじゃないの。大変なの。
アルメキアで何か起こった
I don't know what's up with her audio glitches.
そうなの、アルメキアで大変って。あれ、なんで知ってるの？さっき知らせが来たばかりなのよ。
後で話すよ。それよりすぐにみんなを集めてくれ。
It's like the disc is scratched. Except it's not a disc, it's an
で
ISO.
は陛下はこのような事態を予測しておられた。
I'm just going to start speeding through this because you're getting the point and the scratchy audio is scratchy.
さすがか。
And hey, Dindane, we remember him and how much I hated him.
寝てばかりなのに。
He's the reason I picked Carleon, I think it is. Speeding through dialogue that we can't read and don't want to listen to because it's a scratchy. You may be going, wait, what's that? That is Dindane. Previously he was simply the advanced form of knight, but now he has been given his own class, with its own passives. This makes him even more overpowered because he's now got extra skills down here, but... Do they have anything? They've redone the sprite work for things a bit. Why will be gotten into in a minute again. I know that sounds like... This isn't just Brigandine with animated cutscenes. It's somewhat better in most regards. Oh yeah, I forgot to just organize all the things into a death squad. Because we're going to launch preemptive assaults on everyone! Well, not really. Everyone. Just... We're taking Kai and Dindane out for a spin in a it doesn't really matter what we do because we're only doing the one battle. Next round, anyway. They move anyone in? Yeah, look at some of these cool new sprites. Yeah, previously Dindane was just the second tier version of that guy. Ah, yes.
陛下。
I think this is the Alliance affirmation. Yeah, it's the Alliance affirmation.
お久しぶりです、ランス王子。
はじめまして、ランス様。妹のメリオットです。
遠路はるばるようこそ、カイオ。それに、メリオット姫。
ランス
Isn't
王
he
子。
cute?
我がカーレンを。
ありがとうございます、剣王。
Oh, he got a
そう
new
言ってもらえ
portrait.
ると、と。
You can play this game, kind of, Yep, we're still allies. So who's a better target? Vampire sprite. And in this one... I don't care about Kador. Stuff be going down, as it often does.
随分と青っちろいやつだ。男は腕力が強くなくっちゃダメだぜ。戦場じゃ頭なんかよくったって何の役にも立たねえんだからな。
Oh, Bogdamadness.
確かに君みたいなのと腕力で勝負したら100年経っても勝てそうにないね。
ギャー分かってる
You
じゃ
are
ねえ
best
か。
character.
じゃあさっさと降伏しろや。どうせら痛い目に遭わずに済むぜ。
そういうわけにもいかないしね。多少痛い目に遭うのは覚悟の上さ。それに私には私なりの賞賛があるんだよ。
面白い。その賞賛とやらを見せてもらおうじゃねえか。てめえがいくら小賢しいことを企んだところで腕力に勝るものなしだぜ。
And now we begin. Yes, the reason I'm bringing this up is because there is now an Indiegogo started to translate this. Not like release and sell, just actually properly translate it and even get some voice acting replacement done. So that you can play it. I mean, I know how to play Brigandine, so I have a basic idea of things, but the spells are a whole nother thing entirely. And the special moves, like, I know a dragon breathes fire in a line. You may also be wondering, well, where did they get the room to put in all these animated cutscenes? They gutted what I'd like to call completely unnecessary features. Which we'll be getting to soon. So I'm going to put a link to the Indiegogo site as well as the people's that are doing it website. They're apparently working on an iOS-based sequel, not sequel, since they don't have the legal rights, but to like actually use the name. But watch Brigandine here. What did he do? He had an animated sprite, instead of going into an obnoxious 3D battle sequence that you had to turn off. Isn't that great? It doesn't even slow things down, really, because they always just kind of headbutted each other anyway. They also changed some of the things mechanically. Red, blue, and green now form, I believe it's red, blue, and green, now form a rock, paper, scissors style of weakness, instead of red and blue being mutually self-destructive, and green being, well, it resists itself as its deal. white and black are still mutually assured destruction on each other, as they should be. But it makes things a whole lot more interesting, especially when they added more upgrades to units. I forget if any of the guys that only have one upgrade didn't get one, but I do know the Lizardmen and I believe the Hydra for certain got one. There's now a Lizard Lord upgrade you can get. Brigandine is very likely to crit, because he is a Blade Master. I'm not going to be at this too much longer. You can't really tell what's going on aside from the obvious looking. Look at that! Crit Maniac! Complete insanity! Awesome animated battle sprites. Even more, they've added in some anti-obnoxiousity, as it were. You may remember I cheesed the heck out of some defenses by running one guy over into the mountains and waiting out the turn counter. Now, if the enemy has a unit on your capital, the city you're defending sprite, when the turn counter runs out, they have forced you out of the zone, which means I can't cheese like that anymore, but it definitely makes sense. And along with, as I mentioned, various more upgrades for things, this game now even has a final battle. And it always did, it was just obnoxious to get to, but now everyone can face Bullnoil in the final showdown for the fate of Forcena, once they have conquered all the other nations. I doubt we can finish off Brigandine, but I'm gonna try. We'll probably get a good laugh out of it. I do believe they took away his holy word, it looks like, which is for the best, really. Given how that went, I'd say red dominates green. Which makes sense. Oh right, we're still on 2. I just love this game. I think that's a new status ailment. I don't even know all the changes they made to this game. I'm going to assume that's heal. Watch it not be. That looks healy. Yep. Ah, Geno Flame. Okay. That's not how you drive Brigandine out. And away he goes. Yeah, that'll be good enough for now, really. Good 20-minute video, almost. Again, check this video's description for links to the Indiegogo and everything, and The patch will be distributed free. You just need to get yourself a copy of the game's ISO and a legal PlayStation emulation and all that. Which I do own a PlayStation. I must remind everyone of that. And a copy of Brigandine. So I can't wait. Later, everyone.